Right, y'all. Here we are again. I did a live stream using some of this video here. Video's titled "I'm So Broke," but it's gonna show you the mentality of broke people, and you're gonna have to decide whether you have some of this mentality or not. You recognize some of this kind of mentality in yourself, then you recognize that this might keep you broke, just like it's keeping her broke. But let's continue. Let's go on.
I just went into Lowe's Foods. I needed lunch. So what I did was I was like, okay, I have 60 cents and change. Then I have 77 cents on my card. Yeah, that's it. Because I don't have a job anymore, so I am broke as a joke. And I was like, okay. So I went into the grocery store and I was like, ooh, ramen noodles, that'd be good. 3 for $1. Heck yes, I got 3 lunches now. I got 3 days of lunch for $1. And I was like, whoo, I'm so excited. I get to the cash register, I feel
Okay, so now she's gonna be eating lunch for 3 days, but you don't have a job. I would be eating lunch every day. She looks like she doesn't need lunch. She could take about 2 or 3 months off of eating lunch every day, especially the high sodium food. But where she at mentally? Mentally, she's like, oh, okay, well, it's no big deal. Why is it no big deal with her? As you'll see later on in the video, she lives with her mother, so she's not paying rent. She doesn't have any. She doesn't have any serious responsibilities to deal with. Luckily, she's not a mom, because that would be another serious responsibility she had to deal with, and probably we would handle it the same way, with just immature way she's handling it. So I'm looking at her. I'm assuming she's not in high school anymore. All right. All right. Let's take a look at why I'm so broke.
really embarrassed. I'm like, here I'm paying 60 cents in cash and 43 cents in my card. And he just looked at me and was like, been there. I was like, yeah, thanks for the support. So yeah, that was kind of embarrassing. Another thing I did the other day is, this is really embarrassing. I scrounged for change because I really wanted some McDonald's. So I scrounged for change and found $4 and some other random pieces of change. Now, most of it was dimes and nickels. There were only four, maybe only $1.50 worth of quarters. So me, Danielle, go in there, and the first thing I say to the guy is, I'm so sorry, I am paying all in change. And he was like, okay, just kind of took a deep breath. And for $4, you can get a really good deal at McDonald's right now. You can get for $3, you can get a triple cheeseburger and a large fry and a large Coke that's $3 for the frying burger. And then
Holy smokes! Holy smokes! Ouch! So now you got to eat at McDonald's. Ouch! 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 Yeah, but that's what people in the poverty is a choice. In a country like America, poverty is a choice, and most of us are choosing to be poor. Why? Because it's less pain. It's the pain we know, and we are so scared of the unknown. What if I do get rich? What if I do have money? People are gonna hate me. People are not gonna like me no more. So what? So what? So what if they don't like you? So what? Your ability to take the best care of yourself as possible should not be related to the fact that people won't like you. They're not going to like you because why? The real reason why they're not going to like you if you become successful is because of the jealousy. Jealousy. They want what you have without doing the work that you did. So you got to understand that. There's nothing wrong with being rich. There's nothing wrong with getting rich. The problem with most rich people is they value the money more than they value being a good person. But you don't have to be that person. You can value being a good person. There's rich people out there that give money to lots of different causes. They help a lot of different people. They don't put their name on it. They don't flash and say, I did this, I did that, I did this. They don't have all these different things that they run down. You got to tell poor people what you did, because poor people want to see everything that you did. Rich people know they do stuff. They do a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So they're not as concerned about, oh, what you did, this or that. But poor people, they need to see what you did. They need to see. Because they're scared to move forward without having some kind of confirmation that something's going to happen. People that have rich, and especially people that have taken chances to be rich, they understand you're going to have to take a chance. Some you're going to win, some you're going to lose. So it's not always about confirming everything every time. Especially when it comes to your own financial freedom. It's your life. Your life. Can't blame your husband. Can't blame your wife. Can't blame your girlfriend. Can't blame your boyfriend. Can't blame your children. Can't blame none of those people. It's your fault. If you are not successful, it's your fault. Now let's get back to being broke.
Two, and then for another $1 you get a large Coke. So that's $4. It was $4.31. So I'm sitting there and I'm counting, and as I'm counting, my food is ready. Like, it's ready by the time I'm done counting.
Wait, let me stop you right here. If you're at McDonald's, that should tell you something. If you're eating from McDonald's, that should tell you something. If you're eating from McDonald's because that's what you can afford, that should tell you something. That should tell you something. That should tell you something. Okay? That is not a place for people that you never see a Rolls Royce or Lamborghini in the drive-thru at a McDonald's. You never see those kind of vehicles there. Why? Because people that have a certain way of thinking do not eat a certain kind of way. Why? Because they feel like they're eating a certain kind of way stunts the mental power. If you eat bad food on a regular basis, you're going to stunt your mental powers. And you will make decisions like this, where you will succumb to your own laziness or your own thinking process that tells you, hey, I don't deserve to be financially successful. I'd rather be broke and poor so that I can go to church. As you'll see later, she will identify as a church member in this clip. But let me move it up, because we wasting a lot of time with this, because I got some other clips to get to. Let's see. All right, so this is her telling us about her big tax refund. Okay.
Yep. I filed my taxes for the first time this year. And as you know, I only worked for a couple months, really. And, because by the way, I don't have a job anymore, at all. My season was done. But I filed my taxes and I was like, I wonder how much I'm going to get. I only did my federal. Crap, I just forgot something. I only did my federal, so like I filed, and I will be getting $22 back. Woot woot! $22! That's what's up. That I will, I'm not gonna like, oh, let me save that. That is gonna be like, a lot of people use their tax refund money for like stuff that they want, like they've been saving up for. Ooh, dang. Like my mom is gonna use hers possibly to do, to get a new fridge, because our fridge is falling apart. So it is stuff we need, but at the same time it's something that she really wants, because we don't really need.
So you can see, now you understand why she's talking like she's talking. There's no pressure on her. She lives with her mother. There's no real pressure on this girl. I'm gonna show you a difference between somebody like this and somebody that has some real pressure on them, or they got a real issue of living by themselves and not having a job and different issues. But we see she lives with her mom. Okay, let's go.
Need a fridge. We just kind of want a new one. So I'm thinking of getting something. I don't know what yet. I'm deciding. I'm pricing some things. I think I'm gonna put it towards my my stereo for my car, or my GPS one, to put it like towards it.
Okay. When you're in this situation where you're this broke, a reasonable person would say to themselves, something has to change here. Okay? Something has to change. I'm living with my mom. I'm broke as a joke. I'm trying to scrape money together. I don't have a job. I don't have a marketable skill. Something has to change here. But you know what this kind of person will do? They will blame the government and they will say, you got to raise the minimum wage. If you raise the minimum wage, then I'll be able to get a job. I'll be able to work at McDonald's and own a home. That's not right. That's not exactly right. No. Jobs like at McDonald's, Burger King, fast food places like that, those jobs are not designed and set up for you to go out and own a home. They're not. Those are what they call first-time jobs. They're just jobs where you can get out there, see what it's like to actually be on a job. You're not gonna buy a house working at McDonald's. You're just not alone. That's just not gonna happen. All right. So what you got to do is get out here and get a marketable skill. Now, first mistake we have here is that she's not taking responsibility for the situation. She's just accepting it. She's just accepting the fact that, hey, I'm poor, I'm broke. That's what I'm gonna do. Why? Because later she says, hey, I'm giving everything to the church. That's what's important, me giving to the church. Not me looking at my own. And I'm not blaming the church for this. I'm not blaming the church. I'm just saying her mentality is, because I'm giving money to the church, I'm doing good. So therefore, there's no pressing need for me to get out here and get a marketable skill. I can just keep working different jobs. You said she only worked a couple of months in the year, right? Out of the year, right? Okay. But we passed that. You could say that you could get away with that in 2019 and 2020. 2021 and 2022, you ain't gonna be able to get away with that no more. There's so many jobs available out there. There's no reason why none of us can't be working. So what is she doing? It's a mentality, man. It's a mentality. It's a mentality that's keeping her poor. A lack of skills. When you won't get the skills that you need to break out of the poverty, then you're going to stay poor, right? Nobody's going to feel sorry for you and put you in a better financial situation. You're going to have to figure out on your own how to do that by giving some marketable skills. So we got a little bit more of this, and then I'm gonna let it go. Yeah. Let me find exactly where I want her to be. All right, so we're going to go into what the rest of our day is going to be like.
I'm going to go home and eat some ramen noodles. Yeah. Booyah. Living the life. Sad. But my financial aid is going to go towards, it's going to basically be like my backbone until I get a job. So if I need to buy food for like my lunches and whatnot, and if I need to, it'll be mostly used for insurance for my car, which, dear Lord, I pray I'm getting soon. I think I am getting it soon. But to get my insurance and for gas until I get a job. And once I get a job, it's gonna be, I hope it pays more than what I got paid at Express, and I get more hours, because when I worked at Express, like, I would get a paycheck of like $140 $40 a week, every other week. And that's not a lot when you think about it. Like, I have to start, so I'll have to do my tithes, so that's $14, which isn't bad, but...
Okay. So, she's trying to get a job. Now, I'm looking at this lady, and I'm listening to her. She doesn't sound like she has any marketable skills. She sounds like just a person that probably barely got out of high school. And she's looking for a good job. And good jobs for people that graduate high school are really far and few in between. I'm going to tell you when there used to be good jobs for people that just graduated high school. Up until the 60s. From World War II up until the 60s, yeah, the American economy was set up for people to just be able to graduate high school and jump into the workforce and be able to make a living wage. That is not the case anymore. A high school graduate is less likely to be able to jump into the workforce and make a living wage at this point in the game. We're just doing the math here. Those of you guys that's out there saying, I'm just going to graduate high school, college is for dummies. Is it? College is for dummies who pick the wrong majors. How about that? When you pick the right major and you pick the right line of working, you decide to get a marketable skill in an emerging marketplace, that is not a waste of time. College ain't for everybody, Brother Clarence. No, it's not. But as a proven place, if you go in there and you go get the skill to be a marketable skill in an emerging business community, you will succeed. You will make money. And we all need money in a capitalist society. So ain't no point in us coming up here saying, well, money's not everything. It's not everything, but it's very important in a capitalist society. You're going to need money to move around. You're going to need money to do certain things. You're going to need money to take care of your family members. So trying to get out here and say, oh, well, money's not everything, Clarence. It's not, but it damn sure is going to help out. Damn sure going to help out. It's going to make things a lot easier if somebody is bringing in a sizable income. And then once you bring that sizable income in, you distribute it properly to the proper places so that one day you're going to retire. See, these are things that we don't think about. One day you're going to not be able to work. One day the workplace is not going to welcome you into it anymore. I'm 53 years old. Could never go out and the job I started in, I could never go out and get that job. That is a young man's game. That is a very physical job. It's a young man's game. I could never go do that again. I would not do it at this point in my life, rather. It would take me at least 2 or 3 years just to get in shape enough to do that job. See, and so I had to position myself to say, okay, when I looked at the job, I wasn't going to even take the job, but I took the job for the benefits. For the benefits. I knew I had a child already. Had one child already, ended up having 3 boys, but I had one child already. And we were scraping by because half of my income was going just to pay my health care. Half of my income was just going to pay health care. The health care went up from whatever it was to half once I had my son, it jumped from there where it was to half my income I had to pay. It was ugly. We were surviving. So when I got offered the job that I had at that time, it was a blessing because the company paid your health care. And it was really good health care coverage. So I said, man, even if I don't, even if I'm not making a lot, which I was, it was probably a $10 or $15 increase in pay. But I would say even if it wasn't an increase, just the benefits alone. Sometimes you got to think like that. Just the benefits alone was made it work. The retirement just alone, the retirement setup for me was good, right? All these different avenues of things you can do to help yourself on the back end, because one day you're not going to be able to work. One day you might be able to work, but the job, the marketplace is not going to be welcoming you in. Your value on the job market is going to go down with your age. And to not to say, well, no, it's not. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't, but that's the reality. That's the reality, especially if you're doing a physical labor. If you're doing physical labor, probably not going to look at you as somebody to bring into the fold. But anyway, I want us to see, man. I want us to see how people think, man, and see how we can change. It's 2022. We got to change, right? All right, let's get back to the lady talking about how let me get into the tithing. So she's tithing to the church, right? If you tithe into the church, you got money to tithe to the church. You should have money to put to the side to get yourself in. You should be looking to get yourself in school, get your marketable skill. You don't have any skills, and you out here broke, yet you got all this time and money to give to the church. Okay, you give it to the church, but at the same time, you should be doubling up on the time and money you spending on improving yourself. We all have to spend time improving ourselves, whether that means reading, whether that means praying, whether that means learning how to submit, means learning how to be more dominant. Whatever you got to learn how to do to make yourself better, you got to learn how to do it. You got to keep constantly working to improve yourself. Constantly improve yourself. All right, let's take a look.
That knocks me down to 126. Then I have to buy gas possibly once a week, so I have to put aside what is that?
So you guys heard her say she's making about $150 every 2 weeks, right? Is there anybody, show of hands, is there anybody out here that can survive off of $150 every 2 weeks? No, not unless you're living with your parents or somebody's carrying the heavy load, doing the heavy lifting, right? Not even. She's living with her mother, obviously, right? But the point is, she has no drive to go and do anything else because she's accepted the fact that she's in this situation and that's her lot. And she's wasting time not going out getting marketable skills so that she can set herself up for financial security, right? All right, let's move it down the line, too. Let me move it down the line. Okay. Let's talk about what she's going to put towards savings and other frills of life.
That brings us down to $34. I'll probably put 10% of that into savings. No. More than that. I'll probably put the same amount I tithe into savings. Look at that. That leaves me with 15-20 bucks to have fun with.
Let me tell y'all something. Fun is for people that are financially secure. If you're not financially secure, you are not in this position to be going after fun. Fun is for people that have financially secured, so that once they go out and have that fun, they can come back to their life and it was not a waste of their time. It didn't affect their financial security and their financial future. Just being real with y'all. It's 2022. The time for being broke is over. The time for being a bad person is over. If you're a bad person, that's the next thing I'm gonna talk about, because I know about being a bad person. I was a piece of work. I was a piece of work. Some serious men of God came into my life. But before that, I was a piece of work. I was a piece of work, and they had to really tarry over me. They really had to be over me and pray for me and work with me and be patient with me through all the bullshit I was doing. Man, they had to pull me to the side on many occasions to tell me, "You are way out of pocket, bro. You need to really look at yourself and see where you about and where you going." You know what I mean? Shout out to those brothers. Shout out to those brothers. But anyway, so we're talking to this sister here, this lady here, about how she wants to be, what she wants to do, and as far as, how she wants to put together a plan for how she's going to live off of this little minuscule amount of money that she's getting. But the point is, she doesn't realize that, hey, I'm in bad trouble. See, when I'm looking at her situation, it's nothing but warning bells going off in my head. Bang, 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 bang. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger, Will Robinson. It's just warning lights, right? She's like, well, I don't have no, why? Because she lives with her mother. I'm gonna get into another video real quick, but let's move on.
That's so sad. So really, I just hope I get a good paying job.
Wow, this is my last point on this chick. It's my last point. You hope you get a good paying job. Let me ask you a question. How are you going to get a good paying job when you're not prepared? You do not have the skill set to have a good paying job. This is not the 1940s. This is not the 1950s. This is not the 1960s. Not even the 1970s. America used to be set up for people to come right out of high school and jump into the workplace and be maybe able to make a living wage. That is over. That is over. Thank you, Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan destroyed that situation. You will not have that situation anymore. Actually, Nixon started it. And then Reagan dropped the atom bomb on that idea, on that ideology. Boom. Done. College, or not even, I wouldn't even say college or trade school or some type of place where you can pick up a marketable skill, where you can learn how to do something to make your life work better. You are not going to be able to do it graduating high school from the American school system any longer. It's just not going to work. You're not going to go from the American school system and go straight into the workplace and make a living wage straight right from the beginning. No, that is over. The nail went in that coffin in the 70s. And then actually the 80s. Ronald Reagan put the nail in that coffin. That's over. That's done. So now if you want something out of life, man, you have to recognize that coming out of the school system, there ain't going to be no jobs out there. Not no legitimate legal jobs that you're going to be able to jump right out there and make some serious money. Not nothing legitimate. Not nothing that you want to go home and have your mother know what kind of job you do, or your father, your people, or whatever. You're going to want a job that you can grow, has some growth potential. You don't have to be looking over your shoulder what's going on. You don't have to feel like you're a bad person for what you're doing. So you're going to have to get some marketable skills. You're going to get some marketable skills. And it's 2022. It's time to change. But you've seen this lady, right? She's using the hope. Hey, I hope that this happens. When you got marketable skills in an emerging market, you don't have to hope. I have a friend, his brother's a doctor. His brother was a doctor. His brother got on these like Monster.com and all these other places, and he said he put on his resume, if you're not talking about six figures in salary, please don't even respond. This dude got hundreds of responses from all over the country. Why? Because he had a marketable skill. He has a marketable skill. He's a doctor. He has a marketable skill, and people just told him, hey, when he finished his residency and he put out, start putting out his resume, he said, don't even respond if you're not talking about over six figures. Don't even respond. Got hundreds of responses. You have to have a marketable skill. Hoping is not the way to go anymore. Hoping is not the way to go. The odds on your success with hope is those. You got bad odds. You got better odds going out and getting yourself a marketable skill. And again, a marketable skill in an emerging market, in a market where the demand for those skills is high and growing. Right? Okay, so let's see what reality looks like. This girl is not having to deal with reality because she has been, somebody else is doing the heavy lifting. Her mother is doing the heavy lifting for her. She lives with her mom, right? She doesn't have to worry about rent. She doesn't worry about none of the utilities. She doesn't have to worry about any of that stuff, right? She basically has to all she has to do is just, keep her own nose clean, right? Whether she has a job or not, she has a place to live, right? Whether she has a job or not, she has a place to put her food if she can get some food, right? Whether she has a job or not, she's got heat, right? Let's see the other side of the coin. Let's see the other side of the coin.
Basically, I don't have any money left. I have nothing. Like, I don't have any money in my bank account. I have $2 to my name. And this morning, I woke up after my friend taking me in for a few days until I get paid from my work. I tried to use my Opal card this morning to go to work. And I didn't have any money on my card, which means I can't use any transport to get to work. So my friend is away to work, and I couldn't get on the bus, so I can't go to work, which means I'm probably going to get fired. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Man. This part of my life, this little part right here is called being broke.
Okay, I'm not gonna push it down you guys' throats. You see that this guy is really distraught. He just resorts to start crying because he's broke. But ultimately, he's broke because of decisions he made. We are all a accumulation of decisions that we made over our lives, right? We have to decide, hey, I'm not going to be broke, and how we're going to get out of that. What's the quickest way out of it for me, right? if you gotta hustle, or if you gotta go to school, or you gotta, learn a skill on your own. I mean, you're gonna have to do something. When you broke, you don't have money to go play. The other girl that on the video that I was showing you, she was talking about how her mom and her went to the circus. And you ain't got time to have no fun. You broke, man. You got to be getting busy. You got to be getting busy. Period. Busyness in the right direction is what's going to cure you of that brokenness. Whether it's heartbreak or money break, you're going to have to get that busyness in the right direction will cure it. All right? So I just wanted to go over some stuff that, we need to look at, man, as far as how we're going to make 2022 a better year for us. Remember, you got some things that you ain't going to be able to avoid. You ain't going to be able to avoid the fact that one day the workforce is not going to want you there. You can't avoid that. You have to prepare for that. That's called retirement. One day you're going to have to be prepared to walk away from the workforce. They're not going to want you, and they're not going to pay you no super huge wage. They're just not going to do that, right? So you need to be preparing yourself for that eventuality. And this is the time to struggle when you're young. You don't want to struggle when you're 60 years old and 50-year-olds. I'm going to do another thing about gray divorces, where now these guys got to struggle, or women got to struggle in their 50s and 60s to try to get back on their feet. Ouch. Ouch. Okay? Remember, count your blessings more than you lick your wounds. Count your blessings more than you lick your wounds. We all got wounds we can lick, but count your blessings. If you count your blessings, pretty soon you'll forget about those wounds that you got, and you'll be able to move forward. But if you're always licking the same wounds, man, they'll never heal up because you keep on licking them. All right, I'm just your little brother. I just want to put something on your head. If you're in a situation that you don't like right now, instead of getting mad about it, change it. Do something to change it, to make it better. You're in a bad relationship, do something to make it better. If you can't make it better by improving yourself, then obviously you're with the wrong person. And if you're with the wrong person, why would you want to continue in a relationship with the wrong person? Maybe you're the person, you're in a bad relationship with yourself, and you got to change some of the stuff in yourself. Right? You're keeping yourself poor. You're keeping yourself surrounded with negative, toxic people. You're keeping yourself, unsuccessful. You're keeping yourself miserable. It's not the other person making you miserable. They're going to do what they're going to do. It's you accepting the misery, right? This person is miserable. They treat me really badly. Yeah, but you staying there and accepting it. Come on, you got to get up. You got to get moving. We got to get moving, man. It's 2022. I'm about let's improve. Let's help. Let's do something with our lives so we can help other people. Because that's what it's really all about in this world. Really all about in this life is helping other people. That's really what life is about. And, that's what I'm about, trying to help other people. I don't care what your color is. I don't care what your how much money you got, or if you're in the Patreon or not. If you really need my help and I can help you, I'll help you. You coming in the right spirit, I'll help you. And I hope all of us will get like that if we're not like that already. Anyway, y'all tell me what y'all think. Can you change without changing your mentality? I don't think so. All right. Oh, yeah. Brother, never be the aggressor. Never be the aggressor. Peace.